Oh, here we go. February 21st. Unfortunately, it sounds like we got some music, so I'm going to turn that down. Yeah, and that's going to mean, unfortunately, okay, grabs a base in the Philippines. We're not going to hear the same sounds that we would normally hear during a battle because the music would just blow it out. This happens every now and then with the game with the replays. Music plays over it, and you can't stop it from the Allied side. Okay, Silver Sides. Let's get a shot in here. Nope. Silver Sides does not get a chance to fire. Man, look how juicy that would be. The captain of the Silver Sides elects not to launch torpedoes at this target. Why that is, I couldn't tell you. They look like good targets to me. Only one escort that we can see. S-36. Okay. We got some sub-chasers there. That's going to be a problem. These sub-chasers are dangerous. Pretty smart of Lodrik to... Oh, near miss fire starts a fire. Oh, that's not good. Oh, we're getting tore up, guys. Oh, man, we gotta get out of there. Come on, S-36, get out of there. Oh, that's no good, guys. All right, so he's got two sub-chasers in the Luganville hex. How he got sub-chasers in here, God, I don't even know. We take 4 hits, and there was mention of a possible fire. So we need to think about getting S-36 out of here quickly and get it repaired. Those sub-chasers are dangerous. All right. All right. Looks like he's landing at Mataram. Amphibious assault. This is just another one of the bases in the island chains to the southeast of Java. So far, we haven't seen any of his subs, and that's always a good thing. I'm in no rush to see those. Okay, so the Dolphin. Oh, so now the Dolphin went into the hex. Looks like we got quite a bit of destroyers there. Wow, look at the. Oh, wow. Good job, Dolphin. So we didn't have an attack here, but we got some great eyes on what he's got here. We have the Hiei, the Kinugasa, the Nachi, the Chikuma, and 4 destroyers. That's probably part of that task force has got the carriers aboard. So this is really good intel for us. Who's writing this down? Where's my note keeper? We got the Kinugasa, Nachi, Chikuma, and the Hiei, and I think the Haruna as well, plus at least one escort carrier. So this is pretty decent firepower here, more than we could take on head on right now. Mm-mm. Not good. PBY is responding quite a bit of ships. 10 ships near Singapore, huh? Aha! I knew he would do it. So he just swept over Tarakan, hoping to catch some of our fighters there, and we didn't have any up to be intercepted. So, okay, pretty decent sized raid coming into Bandung. Can you remember when I was saying Bandung? So silly. All right. So he's targeting the airfield here. Looks like we did kill one Nell and damage additional 3. He does quite a bit of hits to the airfield, which will make it harder for us to build forts because we have to repair this first. And it's good information to know what he's got in Surabaya. At least 27 zeros, which is a very powerful and dangerous force, and 29 Nells, which are dangerous to us as well because they can carry torpedoes and they have a long range. So that means it's going to be very difficult to approach Java by sea. Okay, another fragment coming in to sweep Tarakan. Expect a lot of bombers this turn, attacking everything. Look at those casualty rates. Yeah, what he's doing now, he's bombing these bases all around to keep us from getting reinforcements back in there. Now, going into Kukong. Yeah, expect a ton on Changsha. He's just going to try to keep us from building back the forts. That's what he's doing now. Because the fort level is what's keeping us alive in Changsha. Look at the amount of aircraft. We're going to see so many bombing raids on Changsha this turn. Oh, little strafing action here. This is us attacking his troops. Not often that I use these aircraft like this, but I'm trying to see like what he's got here. Okay, so it looks like we do kill a squad and disable one. That's great. And we're just trying to see how he's the health of his units. So he does have the second raiding regiment and the Yokosuka third SNLF, which are both paratroop units, and we did a little damage on them. Some L212s coming in. Not expecting to do much damage to them, which they did not. Look at these. 2 15-kilogram bombs. Gee, that's great. That's so effective. Who made this plane? 15-kilogram bombs. I can curl more than that. Okay, got some more buffaloes coming in to do some strafing. Unfortunately, the heavy rain is hurting our effectiveness here. Oh, hey. So I ordered these B-17s to come in during the setup for the last turn. Um, he's got a lot of flak there. I'm curious if the density of troops that he has here will make it easier for us to get damage done. And we basically do absolutely nothing. What a waste of a raid. So some more are coming in. We do very little to them. But at least we know he doesn't have any cap over the target right now. Wow. He's getting closer. All right, so that's the end of the AM phase. We should have a PM phase of aircraft now. Okay, got some Bettys coming in from Babel to hit the killers of Cagayan. They do okay. Take out a squad. And Betty's coming in from presumably Manila or Clark. And again, they do okay, but no destroyed squads. Oh, that's bad, guys. This is a port strike. Yeah, he did a port strike on us, and it looked like we're going to lose a destroyer to it. Yikes, guys. All right. So he did a port strike on Norfolk Island. I have ships there because I had to park them there in a hurry because he showed up, but he's hit two of them now, and unfortunately um these are Clemsons and they're very valuable to me. We need to figure out what to do about that. Okay, so we got a raid on Sian now. This is a ground attack. The heavy cloud or rain, severe storms is going to help us a bit. Okay, another raid. Similar situation. Okay, another raid. Hmm. Okay, well, that's it for the PM phase. So now here's the big question. What is he going to do at Changsha? Do you think he's going to attack or is he going to take this turn to rest up? Okay, looks like the Dolphin's going for another. Oh, no. We're going to hopefully we can dodge this. So now the Dolphin's in here taking some depth charges from these. Yep, we got hit. Another hit. Another hit. And another hit. Oh, man. And another hit. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's bad. The Dolphin takes 17 hits. Oh. Guys, that might be lights out for that guy. We're going to have to take a look at that when we analyze the turn. 17 hits. That could be terminal for that sub. Man, we had two subs damage at Luganville this turn for nothing in return. All right, so here's what we're gonna find out what he's gonna do. Oh, oh, okay. A deliberate attack on Bandung. Let's see how this goes. I think we'll hold this turn. I think. Nope. Okay, well we did hold. Look at the disparity in force: 2,800 AV to 655. We had terrain forts on our side. Unfortunately, because this game is whack, we take way more casualties than he does, despite him having to hit ×3 terrain. So yeah, this is definitely not a sustainable rate of loss. He will take Bandung in a few days at this rate. We can't do that. Definitely a very bad outcome on this turn. So Bandung will be reduced soon at this rate. Let's see what he brought in there. At least 2 divisions, multiple regiments, lots of regiments. Okay, three divisions, multiple regiments, tanks. Yeah, that's no good. Okay, so now he's back to bombarding at Changsha. I guess we hurt him worse than I thought we did, to the point where he's not interested in attacking a second day in a row. Well, that's good to know. Buys us time to get more troops in there. So now we get a little glimpse at what he's got. It looks like we've taken his AV down almost almost 3,000, 2,500 or so versus our 800 to 1,000 loss. So we definitely hurt him pretty good on that attack. Look at that. See how he's got them all split up? This is a Lodrik special. Look at how long this list is going to be. He split all his divisions up to help them heal faster. That's what he thinks happens when you do that. In hindsight, or in comparison, we have them all put back together in case he attacks again. All right, so Lodrik is landing at Tablas, and he'll grab that base for free because we have nothing there. Okay. Oh, the Royal Trash Army is going for another attack on Malaya. And once again, they do terribly. All right, so that's it. Not the worst turn ever, but we got some issues for sure. Definitely down there in Noumea, we have problems. Both of our subs and surface ships are under attack now, and on top of that, Java did not go too well for us either. So we'll take a closer look at all these things when we get to that part of the, once I get through this combat replay, we'll take a much closer look at those areas and kind of figure out exactly what's going on. And again, sorry for the music during the replay. Unfortunately, that's something I don't have control over. As the allied player, you're kind of in the passenger seat and are just driving around. Okay, got a few new ships coming in. I think some of those units are ones that I bought back. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the, we'll analyze this turn now. All right. Here we go. Let's take a look at what happened this turn. We'll start with our usual process here, and we'll go by the intelligence report and look at aircraft losses. So for this turn, we're reporting 2-2. He lost a Sally and Nell. We lost a B-17E, which is, not good. And another PBY Catalina. This appears to be a Dutch one, based on these numbers. All right. For top pilots, 1 KIA. I'm sure we'll see that in the ops report. Pilot replacements, looking at the group. Wounded. We do have this guy, Heath. Let's see if we can save him. So Heath R. I'm going to go back to reserve. Looking at the reserve, Heath R has a return date. So we'll get that guy back as a bomber pilot. It's probably from that B-17. So there we go. We get him back. And of course, we're still doing our 30-day test. And Tanner B is still showing as wounded. We may need to get him those Bader legs, right? As somebody has mentioned to me before. All right. So continuing down the list here. I think we took a substantial hit to our loss points last turn due to the slaughter at Bandung. That's not going well for us. We'll get to that. Last turn, ship sunk. Nothing has been sunk outright yet, but we'll talk about what may sink this next turn because Lodrik had a pretty decent day as far as ship damaging our ships. All right. And for the campaign, still showing only 59 Japanese sunk, so they're still guarding their secrets quite well. Eventually, we'll find out what else we sank, but that's all they're reporting right now, or that's all we understand. So take a look at the final look-see here. He did gain some points last turn for sure. He pulled ahead of us a bit. So now he's at about 3,800, 3,700 points as opposed to 3,500. He's slowly pulling ahead again. So that's good. He's getting his act together, and he's moving forward. We'll take a look at the combat report near the top. That's always good to see if there's anything important here. A couple things I do want to point out is S-36 took 4 hits. The Dolphin dodged an attack, but we all spotted the Kinugasa, Nachi, and Chikuma, and the Hiei, so that's good to know what he's got there. That's a pretty strong, powerful surface force in itself. And then later on, I think we'll see that we had another sub take a lot of damage. Let me see if I can find it here. It was near the end of the naval movement turn. Right here, Dolphin. Wasn't lucky a second time. Took a lot of damage from these escort ships, and we'll take a gander at that in a minute. Not good. Not good for us. Taking a look at the SIGINT for this turn. All right. Something in Batavia. Planning for an attack on Sian. All right, so we know that he's got some stuff moving on Sian. Planning for an attack on Changsha. Radio transmissions detected at 59101. That could be something. 59101. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, Yokosuka's second SNLF planning for an attack on port player. He's looking to go after port player. Okay. So let's go back and look at this at 59101. I think that's going to be 59101. 59101. Something is there, okay? Radio transmissions are detected at 59101. That's this hex, just off the Banjarmasin. It could be anything moving there. I don't want to even speculate as to what that could be. Could be just some random ships. It could be carriers. I don't really know. Unfortunately, we don't really have a lot of capability to operate spotting planes much past Palembang at this point. So whatever it was, we don't see it now. Okay, so I'm going to go through the operations report, and again, as in my usual method, I'm going to scroll through it and I'll point out anything that looks important. Oh, okay, B-17 written off. Pilot killed in landing accident of a PBY-5 from GBT-18. So there's a Dutch PBY. We got some transports moving a group wing into Rangoon. That's good. These guys are going to give us a lot of aviation support so we can increase our aircraft presence in Rangoon. Okay, we have a lot of ships coming back into service here, as you can see. Ship return to service. That's always a good thing. Submarine ordered to return to Townsville due to damage. We'll look at that. That's probably the Dolphin. Manila expands airfield to size 5. That's probably where he's getting some extra points here. Port Moresby VP91 takes PBY replacements. All right. A few more ships repaired at Nemea. That's good. Looks like we get a few additional ships coming in and a couple reformed units are now on the map. So this is all good stuff. Thumbs up on that. All right. So now I think we could talk about the actual turn. So we'll start with China as usual. Up north, we're still in full retreat from Wasu, and he appears to be in pursuit. How far this is going to take us, I have no idea. We could be going for a long ride. I'm actually wondering if we should just cut across through here and get into India and come back around. That might actually be easier, right? So, look at this. That huge depth stack here that was in this grid before has crossed the river and is now here and is definitely moving on Sian. So, without question, it is time to pull the plug on Sian. We are moving out. This is what I was expecting him to do, and this unit is at least equal force, if not higher, to what I have in Sian. So I want all of these troops out of here. I've got almost 4,000 AV wrapped up in here, and I want it all out. So all these guys are going to be on the move next turn. Everybody's going in the move. Actually, I take that back. We're not all going in the move, but we're going to be moving. Because I don't want to be in the wrong op mode in case these guys attack us here. So we'll keep these guys in combat mode. But we are moving everybody, as you can see. Everybody's out. And in Sian, same thing. These guys will stay in place until these guys are here, and then we'll move out as a group. But I don't want to take long-term engagements on Sian if I can avoid it. And we'll reform our lines further up. Over here in Changsha, nothing's really changed. I think Lodrik's still licking his wounds from the last attack, but it's only a matter of time before he tries it again. That being said, I do have reinforcements coming in from multiple vectors, so I will be able to get this AV up back to over 4,000, which should help blunt the next attack. What it's not going to help us do is get this airfield damage down. We have to get that down to 0 before we can start building up the forts. And with him bombing it every day, it's just not going to be possible to do that. So I need to start looking for alternatives for getting aircraft into here. The problem is that I don't have a lot of aviation support. What the aviation support I do have is at Changsha, but I need it to repair the space. I have a lot at Chongqing, but it will take me a while to move it into position. So aviation support is going to be an issue for us. We do have some scattered aviation support in other places, but it's not where I need it right now. So I will start considering how to get aircraft back into China to start doing something about these raids here, but it's going to take me a few days. So I'll work on it. In the south, he is now into Kukong, and he's going to start... he'll take that base next turn. And he can inherit a damaged base that's all jacked up. Unfortunately, we did leave some good forts for him, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. So yeah, I'm still looking for plan Bs in case Changsha does fall. And unfortunately, the only plan Bs I see are going to be kind of in these areas over here. And that's definitely not ideal. But the terrain is decent, so... I'm kind of wondering if maybe this hex here and this hex here. Put up a combined defense on these two hexes to block the roads. Okay. And are on good terrain. WR, we like WR, it's ×3. So these are probably my plan Bs right here in case Changsha falls. Fall back to these two hexes and we'll reestablish a new line of defense there. And we'll give up all these bases. That's only if Changsha falls though. So looking over here at Rangoon, our supply is doing great. We got another convoy in last turn. It brought in quite a bit of additional supply. This convoy is just about done unloading. And I think I'm going to take a look at Tracker, and I'll show you guys, but I'm pretty sure a lot of supply flowed out of Rangoon last turn into other bases, because I'll tell you for a fact, Tuyun last turn was deep in the red and the supply level went up substantially. I think Chongqing took a lot of supply, but we'll verify that with Tracker here at the end of the video. But it does appear that supply is flowing from Rangoon into China, and that's going to help alleviate our supply concerns here in the near future. In the Bay of Bengal and all the way down into Sumatra and Malaya, no naval activity from Lodrik at this time, and I'm not complaining one bit. I like the break from it, and we've taken this opportunity after neutralizing the carriers here to get supply back into Rangoon, and we've moved a ton, and we've got more coming. Look at that. I got another basically 40,000 coming, getting on the road for the next turn. So supply situation has been resolved in Burma for the time being, and some of it appears to be flowing into China, but we'll validate that. So we still own Palembang, and we still have Malaya. We're still blocking the rail lines out of Malaya for the time being. The Royal Trash Army units are still not getting it done over here. And despite us being almost completely out of supply, we're putting up a good fight. At Bandung, we had a bad showing on the ground. He does have 110,000 troops here, almost 3,000 AV versus our 600. I really handicapped myself by sending those guys to Batavia. I wish I'd never done it. We would have been better served to be in Bandung now. We're down to 419, and we lost a unit last turn. So I give this hex 2 to 3 more turns before it's finished at the rate of loss that we're taking. I thought they would do better, but they are not putting up the kind of fight that I thought they would. So I learned a lot of how to defend Java next time around, but this turn or this campaign, I kind of blew it. That Lodrik came in heavy here, which, you know, historically he hasn't done a good job of doing. So between me doing a bad job and him doing a good job, Java's not doing too great. Over in Borneo last turn, our fighters did some decent work strafing here at Tarakan. Did a little damage to Lodrik, but not enough to get him out of the hex. But at least we know exactly what he's got. Next turn, I think I'm going to go throw these guys up on cap. I want to take a go at those Zeeks that he's bringing. I'm sorry, the Oscars that he's bringing in from Erie. I think we have a good chance of shooting some of those down. These pilots are decent. We have a lot of them. We'll put them up way high and we'll pick them off. So next turn, I think we're going to do a little cap trap to see if we can hurt him here. Pretty dead quiet over here in this part of the Dutch East Indies, the Banda Sea, Sarum Sea, Celebes Sea, the Makassar Strait. Haven't seen any activity in a couple of days, but we're going to start deploying our submarines here to start blocking this out because at some point Balikpapan will fall, and he's going to need to use this routing to get stuff out of here like the oil. So I want to blockade that as best I can. Coming around Australia, we're still waiting for this fuel convoy to come in. It's got about 30,000. Should be here in about a week, and that'll be additional fuel for Australia. All right, coming around to this side of Australia, at least on the coast of Australia, up and down here on the eastern side, no activity. We do see some ships pulling in and moving around Rabaul, but nothing noteworthy. Port Moresby's got a ton of supply now, 30,000, which is excellent. Next turn, we're going to start moving this tanker task force over to Port Moresby to start bringing some more fuel in there because it's very low. But the routing we'll take will be coastal. Well, that's not coastal. I want it to be coastal routing. I don't like that, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to give these guys a waypoint and have them come in kind of this way. All right, because in the past, we've been intercepted by his subs because he can draw a straight line between Cairns, Cairns, and Port Moresby and Townsville. And he knows that we're going to make that route. But I feel like when we come up and around this way, he doesn't intercept us. So that's what we're going to try for this turn, to get that fuel into Port Moresby to make it a more viable base. But as you can see, we're continuing to build up here. Our AV continues to go up. We're up to almost 650 now, which is awesome. We'll have a size 6 airfield here before you know it. And then I might start working on the port capacity again. I don't know. There's so many options here at Port Moresby. I think now with as much as we've built it up, Lodrik kind of made a mistake letting us keep it. And it's a pretty viable base now. Look at this. Got a lot of aircraft here. Got a lot of options. Now, getting down into the excitement zone, Luganville's turned into a bit of a submarine death trap. So if you take a look at my subs here, see that detected 10, detected, 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 detected. Every sub all the way up to here is fully detected because on this carrier or in this task force, he's got 19 auxiliary aircraft. Those are float planes. They're probably all Jakes. And they've got ASW packages aboard. So they're spotting my subs. So now we need to redeploy further north up into here and maybe attempt a blockade of Indeni. Because hugging it down here, we're just going to start eating lead. The S-36 last turn did get engaged, and it did take some damage, right? But the damage is pretty light, and it's not enough to keep the sub from continuing to operate. So I'm going to pull the S-36 further north, but it can still stay in the fight. Unfortunately, the Dolphin is another story. The Dolphin got slammed by depth charges last turn. 17 total hits reported. This is bad. Now, is this terminally bad? I don't think so. I've had other subs that were even more damaged than this, and I was able to nurse back to health. So my plan here is to move the Dolphin with max reactive 0 so that the captain doesn't attempt to engage anymore. We're going to move the Dolphin down to Efate and disband it in port and start doing some emergency repairs on the flotation. Once I get it down below 50, we can leapfrog it to Kumak, do some more repairs, and then we'll take it down to Brisbane for permanent repair. So I think we can save the Dolphin. I've had a pretty good track record of saving damaged subs that were seemingly unsavable. I'll give you another example of one. This guy here, the Sturgeon, was damaged 2 months ago near the Takao Triangle. That's north of the Philippines. This thing was so bad, so far gone, I didn't think we were going to be able to save it. But I've been nursing it back to health. I've slowly been repairing the damage in ports where I could.
And we're going to get this thing back to Brisbane now after almost a month journey. I think I have another example of a sub like that. It might be already in port. Let me see. Yes, the Sea Dragon, I believe it was. Took a lot of damage as well. Well, wait, you know what? Let's do this. There's two subs near the Philippines that were damaged. Let's see if we can find out which one it was. Hmm. I think it was okay. I think it was a Sea Dragon. I got that all the way back after being repaired, and now the Sturgeon's coming back in, and these ships had damage with system damage over 50 and flooding over 50, and I recovered it. You may also recall the Tambor took a mine near Hakodate, right? That thing had system damage way north of 60, flotation damage north of 60, and I was able to save that too. So I have a track record of being able to recover damaged subs, and I think as long as the Dolphin doesn't get engaged again next turn, we can get it safely into Afate or even Tana. That might even be safer. But I don't want to try my luck too hard. I think we can get it down to one of these two bases and get some emergency repairs on there and save it. So that's my plan for the Dolphin. The rest of these subs, I'm going to move further north. What I will say is this. If you guys recall from my live setup video the other day, I told you how ineffective my subs were, and I changed things up. Instead of having them stagnant in one hex, I gave them moving patrols. Okay, this is an example of one I did not get to, and I will fix that. The rest of these have moving patrols, and know what happened last turn? We had two sub engagements at Luganville. Now, granted, they didn't go in our favor, but we still had sub engagements. So whatever I did seems to have worked, and I'm going to keep doing it all over the map with my subs. I'm not going to let them sit stagnant anymore. That does not appear to work. I've been told by many people that you can just give them a static hex, and they'll just engage stuff as they come by. That has not worked for me this campaign. Not at all. What is working is them moving every turn, and it burns up fuel, and it means they have lower endurance. But what good are they if they're not attacking anything anyway? They could be sitting in a hex for the whole campaign, not burning fuel, but if they're not engaging anything, then they're useless. So I'd rather burn the fuel and have a chance at having an attack than not. So that's what I'm going to be doing with my subs. All right, continuing further south, we've got some issues at Norfolk Island. He's brought his carriers further south, and he did a port strike on us last turn. And unfortunately, he did some damage to our ships. So the Peary took some hits, and this is a Clemson, and these are not the kind of ships I want to be losing. The John D. Ford, which I was able to save from all the way back from the Makassar Strait, unfortunately is not going to be survivable. This ship will probably go down next turn. I could scuttle it, but I think I'm not because I want to leave some bait in the port. As for the rest of these ships, I'm scattering. I'm going to get all these guys out, and we're going to head further south, and we're just going to take our chances at sea, because if I leave them in port, they're just going to get picked off and die, and I don't want to take those chances. So I'm sending everything south towards Auckland at this point. I'm going to hazard to guess that Lodrik is not comfortable sending this small task force that far down towards Auckland. This is probably as far as he's willing to go, because he doesn't know what I've got out here or what I'm planning to do. So what I'm not going to do is leave him any more ships other than the Ford to kill. And I'm really upset that the Ford is going to go down, because these Clemsons, which I've lost so many of, make absolutely fantastic destroyer escorts later on. But I kind of squandered them by putting them into this position, not thinking that he would actually go for a port strike. Well, I knew it was a possibility, but I thought it was low. But apparently he has done a lot of damage to these ships, so that's that. We got to get these guys out of here and evacuated. As far as the rest of my convoys, I think they're out of danger. I've moved them far enough away now that I don't think they're at risk of getting attacked. They're definitely not spotted. So with this task force, he has no spotting aircraft that I can see. He's using his bombers as his naval search, and the valves don't have a huge range. So everything that is further away is not spotted by him. So that gives us time to retreat, and I think that's what we're going to do, and just wait it out. Once these guys move away, we can consider moving our ships back into Nemea, but not until that happens. Anyway, I think that's about it for this turn. I think I've covered everything that's important. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching this. Lodrik is picking up the pace and forcing me to react now. And he's got me back on my back foot where I felt like we had him on the back foot for a long time. He's turned the tables, and now I have to start thinking of other options. So I like it. I like that he's finally kind of showing a sign of life here, and he's doing something. Granted, this stuff here is not going to lose me the campaign. Losing the John D. Ford is not going to end my campaign by any means. It's annoying, and it causes me some delays, but I think I can work through it. So I'm not panicking yet. Nothing to panic about. It's just majorly inconvenienced for now because I had big plans for Noumea and Kumak and New Caledonia. I want to get more stuff there, but we just can't right now. So we're just going to wait. Get you guys in the next one.